Good morning, elected members. Will be starting shortly. If you could please turn on your screen so we know you're there.
Hi, Lana.
Good morning.
Good members, so just so you know, we have the Mayor, Councillor Lambert, Councillor Larson in the room here in Tangatirorea. Councillor Williams, you're online, we can see you, you're there, present. I need somebody else to be present.
Yeah.
Or quorum.
I'm here.
I
can't get
Councillor
the
Howard,
camera
you're
going.
there?
I can't get the camera going.
Okay.
It says
And Councillor Vincent is coming back into the room too. I can see him now. Thank you, Councillor Vincent. Thank you, Councillor Howard, for talking to us. So we do have quorum. So, Mr. Mayor, you're good to go now.
Okay, welcome to this council meeting, Friday, 4th of April. My apologies for the late start. We will move straight to apologies. We have apologies coming from Councillor Manderson, Councillor Naya. Are there any further apologies? Councillor Paniora and Councillor Wilson, Erin Wilson-Collins.
For lateness.
Oh, for lateness. Okay, I'll move that. Can I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Lambert. All those in favour, please raise their hand and say aye. Against, motion carried. Thank you. Confirmation of agenda. I'll move that. Can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Vincent, thank you. Any issues there? No. All those in favour, raise their hand and say aye. Aye, motion carried.
Aye.
Conflict of interest. Any conflicts of interest to declare today? Nope. Okay, no public forum today. Confirm the previous open minutes. I'll move that. Can I have a seconder again, please? Councillor Lambert. All those in favour, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against, motion carried. Okay, we move to the first item on the agenda today, which is the annual plan 2025 adopt consultation documents. And putting this in front of us, and Tracy Dean, is that correct?
Yeah, we've got Ruby and Tracy there. Ruby's ready to present to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Ruby.
Good morning.
Prior to doing that, I will move this. Can I have a seconder?
Yeah, I will. You can't see me.
Councillor Vincent.
Howard.
Oh, Councillor Howard, sorry. Councillor
Yeah.
Howard, seconding. Okay, thank you, Ruby.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So we're here today to seek approval of the consultation document for the annual plan for 25-26, ahead of going out for consultation starting from Monday, 7th of April to the 7th of May. Attached to your council report is the graphically designed consultation document and the submission form too. This was agreed by council through a number of briefings and meetings leading up to this point, and the consultation is focused on just the one question, which is the targeted rate collected on behalf of 3 of the district's museums. Council's identified the preferred option, and you can see that this is highlighted in the document. The consultation will be accompanied by a communications campaign and will utilise digital, social radio, our local newspapers and community networks. The community engagement team has also organised a number of face-to-face opportunities to support the consultation. And then following this adoption and council meeting, staff will make any final minor changes that are required to the CD and will prepare everything to be available online and in our council offices from Monday, the 7th of April.
Thank you, Ruby. Is any questions of Ruby? I'll have one, Ruby, just for the ratepayers that are listening in. What face-to-face opportunities are we looking at around the district?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. There's actually one tomorrow, which is before the consultation opens, but we will have some of the information for consultation there. So that's the Ruawai 2025 Festival. We'll have some of the team there and some elected members too. We've also got the community engagement team have organised a drop-in session at the Dargaville Council office. That's on Monday the 14th of April. I think they're just in the works to organise one at the Dargaville Museum. There's also one at the Mangawhai Museum on Monday the 14th of April, another one at the Cody Museum, and one at the Mangawhai Council office on Wednesday the 23rd of April. All of the dates and times for that will be available on our website. We'll try and get that up this afternoon so that people can see them early ahead of the consultation starting.
Thank you very much. So people have an opportunity to participate, and we welcome them to do that. Thank you. Any other questions of Ruby? Okay, thank you, Ruby. You can stand down. Move a statement. Thank you very much for that. I don't think there's a lot to say there. It's something that we look forward to doing and participating with our community. Seconded statement, Councillor Howard.
No, I felt that the whole project read well, and I think that should be good for ratepayers to work through. I didn't have any further queries.
Thank you. Any other elected members wish to speak? Any other elected members? Oh, someone's got their hand up there. Who's that?
Councillor Williams.
Me?
Oh, okay. Thank you, Councillor Williams.
Thank you, through the chair. Yeah, look, I just wanted to say that I think the documents have been put together really well, and I think they're really easy to understand. So I think, I just wanted to say thank you to the comms staff for putting that together. I thought they were really well done.
Thank you. Any further comments from elected members? No. Okay. Movers right to reply. I've got nothing further to add. I'll put that to the vote. All those in favour raise their hand and say aye. Aye. Against. Motion carried. Thank you. And now we move on to item 4.2, the Dargaville Town Hall Annex demolition and reclad costs.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'd like to move a motion that is different to the staff recommendation. Just give me a moment. I'll email it through to Kelly so that she can put it up on the screen for everyone to have a read.
Okay, we'll just think about for that. So I'll can I get a seconder for that, please?
No, you can't.
I can't get a seconder. Yeah, right. Cool.
You haven't done it.
I'm jumping the gun.
Just checking at this end regarding network connection. Everybody, you just bear with us for a sec. We just got a message up. We can't see audio online attendees yet.
No, I can't get mine going.
Okay, so the
Mike, can you hear me, Mike?
Yeah.
If you look down at the bottom of, along the bottom of your computer, where it says mute, next to it, it says stop video.
It says
If you click on that,
video. It says start video.
yeah, and then what you need to do is click on the up arrow, and you should have your surface camera front on. Surface camera front. I think you're looking at the back of your computer. There you go. That's it. We can see you.
Okay.
All good.
Well, it's good when you got some younger people to show you what to do.
Yeah, doesn't it help?
We can see you now, Councillor Howard. We just give us 2 more seconds, team. We're just sorting out the TV here. Lovely, Amanda. So everything else is working okay by the looks of it? Okay, Councillor Larson. So, Mr. Mayor, just Councillor Larson, you've got an alternate motion that you'd like to put forward.
Not yet. I've got a motion other than the staff recommendation.
Yes, alternate.
Email to Kelly. I'll put that up on the screen so everyone can see what I'm going to move.
Just a minute to do that.
Not easy to read.
Oh, we're getting
Yeah,
there.
just
We're
read.
getting there.
Yeah.
Perhaps if Councillor Larson would like to take us through.
Team KDC staff, can you see that? Yeah, okay. Okay, cool.
Okay, so I am moving that the Clyde District Council A approves the additional budget of 1.985 million required demolition of the Dargaville Town Hall Annex building, recladding of the municipal building and Northern Wairoa War Memorial Hall, and reinstatement of required toilets. And B, agrees to fund the project from $600,000 depreciation reserve funds and 1.385 debt. And C, directs the Chief Executive to resolve the issues raised by the Northern Wairoa War Memorial Hall Complex Working Group stakeholder representatives. And D, directs the Chief Executive to develop a comprehensive plan that ensures that a functional town hall and municipal building result from the project before letting a tender and proceeding with the related physical works. And E, appoints Councillor Gordon Lambeth to 1, liaise with the Northern Wairoa War Memorial Hall Complex Working Group stakeholder representatives regarding the development of the plan referred to in D above, and 2, approve the plan on behalf of elected council in conjunction with the Chief Executive, and 3, monitor the implementation of the plan to ensure that it is carried out within budget and achieves the required outcomes for the community. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you. Okay. So Councillor Larson has moved that. Can I have a second, please? I'll second it. Okay, and presenting this item today, we have Brian Hagan, Samantha McEwen, and Dennis McCarthy. So I'll hand it over to you to take us through this document.
So we're going to take the report as read. So this came to the March briefing and March meeting, and at the February, we're in, what month are we? Yeah. So at the previous meeting, elected members agreed to defer deciding upon this item pending a meeting with the Dargaville Town Hall stakeholders. So we had an in-person workshop where we spoke to community members about some of the issues that they had there. We've identified that most of the issues that the community have raised are things that we can do alongside the demolition of this project. So around having slab, the fire exit and the toilets confirmed. So we believe that we can do that in conjunction while this project's being demolished. I'm happy to take any questions.
Okay, any questions from members, please?
Yes, I have one, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Howard.
Well, actually, I'll put my hand up. So obviously the working groups had the meeting that was talked about at our last meeting. That's good. Now what we're proposing is some more work done by this revised motion to be done, but we're still staying with the same budget. Does that fit or work properly? Because what's to say that the changes or any changes may come out and have an impact on the overall budget that we have now?
Thanks, Councillor Howard. So yeah, we do have concerns about that. So the current scope of this project is to demolish the leaky Town Hall Annex and enable access to the 1950s town hall and to retain functionality for municipal buildings. So anything that this motion creates to increase the scope or to add extras onto this project will incur additional costs. The budget that we've requested is in line with the tender that we've received and for the toilets.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just think on that a second.
Just for those online, we can't actually see you at the moment. We're just trying to work through the TV settings to try and sort that out. However, if you do have a question, maybe voice it verbally.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a question.
Okay, Councillor Paniora, your question, please.
Sorry, I'm on a bus with 25 other councillors and mayors, so I do apologise for the noise. But I just have one quick question. If we implemented the project management office, I'm just a little bit unclear about Councillor Larson's motion. It looks like it's an overstep of the new project management office and it looks like he's doing some of the work that we've already put into these roles that we've established. I just want some clarity on what will be the project management officer's oversight on this project and what will be Councillor Lambeth's. Thank you.
So through the chair, I can confirm that this is a large and significant project that's going through the project management office at the moment. So it has ET oversight as well as subject matter expertise, so finance, asset management, building oversight. It has delegated financial authority, so approvals between Jason and myself. We've also got Brian Hagan, who is the manager of project delivery, so he's supporting the project delivery team. And this will come monthly via your project delivery update to each briefing as well. So we think that there's a lot of governance and oversight already internally across this project, and we think that we can be very transparent with the public and elected members about the progress of that project.
I just have one final addition to that question. What happens if the project runs over the expected timeframe and Councillor Lambeth is no longer a councillor? What would that mean for him to have oversight on this project? Thank you.
I don't have the answer to that question. Sorry, I'm not sure what the implications for that would be.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, if I could, can I just check on our timing with demolition for the tank? So what's our anticipated timing for demolition?
Through the chair, the program of the preferred tender is 28 weeks. So that's about 7 months.
Yeah.
Now, so Mr. Mayor, if you don't mind, I think we need to flesh this out a little bit. If that's okay with the elected members around the table. So 28 weeks is fine. I get that. I know there's been some discussion with the stakeholders, particularly the cinema, about when would be the ideal time to commence demolition for them. When is that?
End of July is their preferred timing, so that they can have the winter school holidays, which is one of their peak operating times. So we'd like to try and work with them to enable that to happen.
So therefore, according to the motion that's on the table, this has to be resolved prior to letting the tender. That's my understanding of the motion. Now, are there any implications regarding our timeframes and the tender? I mean, if this particular process takes some time?
Through the chair, there could possibly be implications with the tenderer. We can't guarantee their availability at this stage. They're in a holding pattern at the moment, obviously awaiting the funding approval. We would have to we haven't actually confirmed the successful tender yet, obviously waiting on the budget approval. We would then have to clarify their ability to meet within the preferred timeframes, and to be honest, that could incur additional cost. The tenders were received in late January, so bearing in mind we're now in April, if we're not starting till July, there's definite implications around the cost, and we'd have to really give them opportunity to have a look at their costs again.
So, Council, that's one of the risks here, in that, I mean, Brian's just adequately, very nicely explained the risk here by doing this, because you're trying to get agreement from a group of stakeholders. prior to letting the tender, and there are issues, there could be issues with that. So with eyes wide open, you accept that risk. Now, I do have a question, because this has obviously just come up onto the table, and perhaps it's a question for Councillor Larson, I think, but according to the motion on the table, do the stakeholders work through Councillor Lambeth and then Councillor Lambeth work through us? Is that the intent of the notice? The motion, Councillor Larson?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, look, just with regard to the query that's just been raised about time frame and budget, the intention of this motion is twofold. It's firstly to make sure that the local community are getting the outcome that they want, and bearing in mind that there is a budget restriction. So any plan has to fall within that budget. It can't be extra things that cost more. It might be extra things if there are efficiencies to be found. But the second part is that we want this to be expedited as quickly as possible. And what this does by appointing Councillor Lambeth is it allows this to be done and to be gotten on with. Now, at the working group stakeholder meeting the other day, there were 5 or so points that needed to be resolved. They are not onerous points that need to be resolved, and there is a path forward for every single one of them. And I would anticipate that we should be able to get on with it and get them resolved within the next few weeks and not have a long delay and get it sorted. So that is the intention of the motion, is to get this done as quickly and efficiently as possible. And so in answer to your question, Mr. Chief Executive, yes, that is the intention. Councillor Lambeth would liaise with the stakeholder representatives and get a solution as quickly as possible that everyone can live with and is happy with, and work with your team to get things moving forward as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, may I indulge? Just to clear this up, if I could just make a quick statement.
Sure.
I feel as though I'm a bit of a soldier who's asked for volunteers and everyone stepped backwards, but here we are. So just to clear up a few things. I have no intention of invoicing for any of my time involved with this. I've proved it in the past with my involvement with the swimming pool, and in this very complex here, and you can ask all of the people involved with that, never once did they get an invoice from me or did I profiteer from it. I did it solely as a community project, and I intend to do that again with this.
Thank you for that. Councillor Vincent?
Must be you can see me again.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, well, I have misgivings about this approach because, once again, while it's perfectly legal to do what has been done, I do wonder at the point of me taking the time to read the staff report when we are presented at the 12th hour plus one with an alternative recommendation. That aside, I wonder if a way forward in dealing with this, I have a limited understanding of project management, and there are various roles assigned at the operational and governance level, and it may be in sort of furthering and clarifying what Councillor Paniora was raising, that there is in the hierarchy, there is I think a place for a sponsor of the project, and it might be at one level further down as well, in which it's appropriate for a governance person to be involved. But I am concerned about the waters being muddied between governance and operations that we are presented with here. However, if it's going to get the job done and the community is going to be happy, well, I'm open to that. But maybe there is a label that can be stuck on Councillor Lambeth's intended role, or the role intended by this motion, that would make it clear what his status is in relation to it. Can you make that as a question? Like, I'm inviting a member of staff to respond to that.
Yes, through the chair, we do have project roles, and so we do have project sponsors, business owners, and business and project managers. However, that doesn't generally reach beyond our operational hierarchy. So project sponsors are usually the general managers, So yeah, we could look at it in our role, but I guess what my question then would be, would that mean that Councillor Lambeth wouldn't be able to vote on those items going forward because he would be part of the project team essentially?
Thank you. I'm going to move to Councillor Larson, then Councillor Howard, then Councillor Paniora.
Oh, that's all right. I was just going to comment on the query from Councillor Vincent about needing a role title. I think that Councillor Lambeth, if this motion passed, would simply be an appointee. He's been appointed by the council to be undertaking a role.
Okay, I would agree with that. Councillor Howard.
Yep. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Look, let me say up front, I have absolute faith in Councillor Lambeth to carry out any such role that he is appointed to. But what I'm not sure of, other than this note that came through yesterday from Sue, what's her name, from the working group? Can't recall Sue Curtis. I would like, I'm absolutely supporting getting on and getting this job done. It's mucked around too long. So what, in simple terms, are we able to understand exactly what we're looking at doing or changing as per this motion?
You would like to address that?
I think Councillor Larson is his motion.
We'd like to talk to Councillor Larson.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, thanks, Councillor Howard. So just to give you a little bit of background, what happened is that quite some time ago, we formed this working group to try to make sure that the community had input and understood what was going on with the town hall and the municipal building fix. Now, there were quite long periods of time where there were delays and the group didn't meet because it coincided with a significant internal staff restructure, and new people came into the roles eventually and got up to speed with it. And some of the feedback, the community stakeholders, representatives, indicated to us when we regrouped that the feedback that they'd previously given had got lost in translation or through that period of time, and they weren't happy with what was being proposed. So last week on Thursday, we had a meeting of the stakeholders, and they raised about 5 or so matters that needed to, in their opinion, be resolved and appear on the face of it to all be reasonable and sensible matters. And their position is that they would like to get those things resolved up front rather than have them maybe resolved as the process drags on. So what this motion is trying to do is expedite the resolution of those issues as quickly as possible, using the expertise of Councillor Lambeth as the conduit to the community. And I would say that he knows the community as well as anybody, and he knows building construction. So that's what we're trying to do. We want to also get this to move forward as quickly as possible, but we want to do it in a way that we have the community on board and that they are satisfied that they're going to get the outcome that they want. So, big project. I think 2 or 3 weeks to straighten out a few little fundamentals and get everyone on the same page is going to be a very good investment, and I don't believe it can significantly kick the budget, given that we've got a lead-in period and it's a fairly long project anyway. So I think this is the sensible approach. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Paniora.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yep.
So based off of the discussion that I've heard, I have a question that may be more directed at Jason. Now, I hear, you know, we are all in agreement that Councillor Lambert can take a role, an oversight role, but what I'm just a little bit still uncertain about is where the authority lies if something goes pear-shaped. And does our insurance cover an elected member making decisions in conjunction with the council and on behalf of elected members? Because the way that the the way that the amendment of the motion is worded is that it puts the hierarchy, it puts Councillor Lambert higher up in the hierarchy of decision making than it does the CEO. I just wonder if we swap the wording around to the CE approves the plan in conjunction with Councillor Lambert. Can we maybe have a look at our insurance around negligence and whether that extends to elected members, governance making decisions? Yeah.
Okay, Councillor, not Councillor, CE Maris might want to talk to that.
You always keep voting me, Mr. Mayor. Through you, so we always have insurance for and councillors and elected members are indemnified for their decisions. So that's under the Local Government Act. We're fine there. However, what I would say here, team, is what the intent of this. My understanding, the intent of this motion is that Councillor Lambert is being appointed as in a community leadership role, actually, and to liaise with the stakeholders and the community in the space in his role as a councillor for that ward. That's the way I'm looking at it. And I think that's actually appropriate because he's a councillor from that ward. Now, so obviously it is a little prescriptive because it needs to be to understand the role here, but in that community leadership role, he's liaising with the stakeholder representatives regarding development of the plan. I take your point, Councillor Paniora, regarding point 2, which is approve the plan on behalf of elected council in conjunction with the chief executive. That's just the plan, actually. And, I'm comfortable that I've got the same rights and role here that Councillor Lambert has. Councillor Lambert, you need to be comfortable with that, and council, you need to be comfortable with that approach as well. This is something that's supposed to be able to be done relatively quickly, and we're going to rely on Councillor Lambert to do that, and then he will liaise with the project team in that space, and there probably will be some to and fro as a level of understanding increases between those parties involved.
Okay, thank you very much. I think staff, I think you can stand down. I think we've traversed the questions.
Mr. Mayor, I just have one more question, if I could.
Yep.
Sorry, team. And it's actually to Councillor Larson. We've taken off delegates financial authority, the CE, to execute contracts.
Yes.
How would that?
Do you want to have that in at the end, that after the plan has been developed and agreed? Okay. Well,
otherwise, I don't have authority to do anything.
That's okay. So if you'd like to add in, please, by agreement with the seconder, a clause F, Kelly. You can copy and paste press C if you still have it. So the new clause F will say delegates financial authority to the chief executive to execute contracts after the plan has been developed and approved. So I'm suggesting that as an amendment to the motion to the seconder. Are you?
Yep, I agree with that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Councillor Larson. I think that's clearer from us.
Okay, thank you, staff. We'll move to the mover's statement, Councillor Larson.
Thank you, Your Worship, and just going back in history, as I had alluded to earlier, I identified some time ago that this project needed to make sure we actually got an outcome that the community was happy with, and I'm pleased that we went ahead and formed the working group, because I believe it's achieving exactly that through this process. We need to land a project that's fit for purpose and works for those stakeholder groups who are going to be using it. And I wonder who's got their microphone not muted there. Is that?
Carry
on. So it's been discussed through questions, you know, why one might have Councillor Lambeth help to expedite this process. Well, Councillor Lambeth knows the Dargaville community as well as anybody. He has extensive expertise he can draw on with both building projects and project management. And I think there's no better example of that than the building that we're sitting in here today, the Tangata Community Complex that he was heavily involved with. This amazing complex in for about $2.5 million on budget, under time, I think. So there you go. Let's try and make this project be something like this. It's a more complex project there, of course, but let's see if we can bring it in under budget too and on time. So, yep, I think it's time we need to approve this budget, get on with it, fix the town hall. It's dragged on for too long. Let the cinema operate properly, and let's keep a really close eye on things and get a really good result for the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Second statement, which is my own. Yeah, look, I want to endorse those comments. You know, we get criticised as a council sometimes for supposedly having a predetermined decision, you know, and that consultation is merely a foregone conclusion. However, this shows quite clearly that, you know, we want the community to make the right decisions and get this project right. And I think this is the way forward. We've approved the budget, and now we want to tidy up everything else that happens in between. So I'm pretty happy about where we're heading here. Thank you. Anyone else wants to speak? Councillor Howard.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Look, I've already said what I feel about this whole project, but I just wonder, even with your words that you've just said, I just wonder whether we're actually putting the cart before the horse a little bit. Why can't we? We know how much budget we've got, and that ain't going to change. But why can't we let Councillor Lambeth and the working group get these changes or get this resolution between all parties sorted in this next 2-3 weeks, and have this come back for final approval by council when the budget is approved, then with all known facts and in a total agreement. I think it just sits a bit more comfortably. I don't want to be one who delays things as far as this goes, but I just feel that we would have
proposing an amendment to the motion.
Well, no, I'm just raising it. I want to generate
questions.
Councillor Vincent, could you stop interrupting, please?
So that was it. I would be happy to move that motion, that amendment, but you know, with the blessing of the council.
Councillor Howard, are you going to move an amendment, or are you just saying that you would?
Yeah, I'll move an amendment. I'll move an amendment if I can just see where it is, but it'd be along the lines of council understands the budget doesn't change, but would prefer to leave the decision making to get final agreement by all people or the working group before finally approving the plan at next council meeting.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, if I may. So, Councillor Howard, I'm not clear. I understand, I believe, the intent of your amendment, but you need to give us the words
Yeah,
for your
well,
amendment
I
at a speed
did-
that we can copy down.
yeah, okay,
Otherwise, it's
too fast,
impossible.
too fast. Okay, if I can just see, here we go. That council, let me think what the words would be now off the cuff. Council approves the appointment of working group with Councillor Lambeth to work. Oh, sorry, appointment of Councillor Lambeth with working group to resolve outstanding issues within the next 3 weeks, acknowledging no change of budget, acknowledging no change in budget. Council would then bring to next council meeting full plans agreed by working group to be approved alongside existing budget. Yeah.
How does that fit with the rest of it?
No idea. Through you, Mr. Mayor. Look, thank you, Councillor Howard. Is that your amendment by replacement? That's the sole motion on the table.
That's the basis of on what I can see. Yep.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, so what you've got is an amendment moved by Councillor Howard. You need to see if you can get a seconder to this. Just to clarify, this is the entire motion that's been put forward as an amendment in replacement, David.
Okay, do I have a seconder? No, you can't get a seconder, Mike. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all right. I figured that.
Okay, so we go back to the substantive motion. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Had Councillor Larson talk to it. I've talked to it. Councillor Howard's talked to it. Anyone else want to talk to it? Councillor Paniora?
Yes. Thank you through the chair. I am really relieved and happy that we are progressing this and that, as all have attested to, we're just going to get on with it, get it completed under budget. Our community hasn't had a space for a long time now, and we're in desperate need of it, specifically with a lot of the things that have happened to bring us back together as a community. So I'm all for anything that is going to progress that in a speedy way. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Paniora. Councillor Williams?
Thank you, through the chair. Yeah, look, I just want to reiterate what's been said about the community needs. And, this is such an important project. We have to get it right, and we have to get it right for the future for the other stakeholders within this building. So, yeah, let's get on with it. I think this is the best way forward, and I fully endorse that Councillor Lambeth is involved. So, yeah, let's get on with it. Thank you.
Anyone else wants to speak? Okay, movers right to reply, Councillor Larson.
Thank you, Your Worship. I just simply say let's get on and get this town hall fixed. Thank you.
Okay, put it to the vote. All those in favour raise their hands. Say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. Thank you. All right, last item on this agenda is local waters done well, adopt consultation. Who'd like to move that? Okay, I'll move that. Who'd like to second
I'll
it?
second it.
Thank you, Councillor Howard. Okay, presenting this is Ruby Mitchell and Jason Maris.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. I mean, obviously we're really pushing timeframes here. This is I'll hand over to Ruby to talk to it actually in a sec, but obviously local water's done well as a big program of work here. The consultation starts and is aligned with the annual plan. But I'll stop now in case Ruby, I steal your thunder. I'll head over to you.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So we're here today to seek approval of the consultation document for Local Water's Done Well. We're planning to start that formal consultation period for it on Monday, the 7th of April through to the 7th of May. So it aligns with the annual plan and also aligns with our fees and charges. As Jason just alluded to before, under the Local Water's Done Well model introduced by the government, we must consult with our community on possible options for the delivery of water services in the future. So you'll see attached to the report is the graphically designed consultation document, including the submission form for your adoption. In the last council meeting, elected members agreed on the 3 options for consultation. So they're the Northland Multi-Council Controlled Organisation, which would look after wastewater and drinking water. We stick with an in-house model that would continue to look after all 3 water services, or a shared service arrangement with 1 or more councils. Council also agreed a preferred option in that last meeting, which is the Multi-Council Controlled Organisation, and this is highlighted in the document. It's option 1. So consultation for this, in the same way as the museum's targeted rate, will be supported with a communications campaign, and the community engagement team have also organised the face-to-face events and opportunities to support the consultation. Following this adoption, we will make any minor changes required to the CD, and then we'll prepare everything to be available from Monday. Thank you.
Okay, before we take questions, would CE Maris like to add to that?
No, Mr. Mayor, it's fine.
Thank you, Ruby. We can stand down. Mover's statement. Yeah, thank you, Ruby, and for clarifying that. I think that's pretty straightforward. Let's see where we get to with that. Seconder's statement, Councillor Howard.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Look, I am also in agreement that I think that the document is, for as much as we know, covers all bases, and we have met the statutory requirements in terms of having the options that we're presenting and going forward. We know I know what I'd like to see come out of this. I think I did raise a question with the CEO, a couple of questions. I think that there's a potential still for some questions to come out of, well, we hope that there will be questions that come out of the community. So I can leave those now, and we'll answer those if and when they come. But so I'm happy with what we've got.
Thank you, Councillor Howard. Any further statements, please? All right. Mover's right to reply, which is myself. Yeah, look, this is pretty straightforward that we have to go and consult this document. It's been a long, arduous 3 years, getting on 3 years. This Local Waters done well. Previously, it was 3 waters, and I have to say it's caused a lot of work and a lot of what's the description for it? A lot of circling at times to try and get to this position, and we still aren't there yet, but that's where we are now, in a position where we need to consult our community and then put this to bed. I think we've got, is it till September? What's the deadline?
Mr. Mayor, through you, Water Services Delivery Plan is due at the start of September.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're starting to get to the nitty-gritty of all this now. So, look, I'll, without any further ado, I'll put that to the vote. All those in favour, raise their hands, say aye. Aye. Against? Motion carried. Okay, it's 10:30. We'll knock off for a quick cup of tea till 10:35. Thank you. Then we come back for a briefing.
Thank you.